I have a crystal clear memory during COVID, looking out the back window, um, feeling so slowed down and thinking to myself, oh my God, the world has been on this rush to doom, 4 speed, 5 speed, got to have the fastest, got to have the best. And it took getting this big tin box and building it into a home for me to like find sanctuary and the ability to slow down. LA was expensive. I lived there for like 25 or 30 years. It was ruled by youth, driven by this need to get ahead. And for me, it was all about dogs. I woke up one morning with this sense of doom, and I had no idea what it was from. After like walking around and thinking, it was like, okay, my mom's getting old. Okay, I've outgrown my apartment. Okay, I've been living this life, working. Um, Time for a new adventure. What do I want to do next? I actually attributed it to my dead father as being my guardian angel and sort of kicking me forward to make a move. So I went and gave a month notice to my landlord. I put a bunch of stuff on Craigslist. I sold a bunch of stuff. I got a U-Packet truck and put my treasures in it, and I drove home. The plan was that I would be home based at home, help my mom, who was like 94 years old and starting to fade. And what I would do I would be traveling to do people matching pet fashion shows. It's the most fun I had, and it was the one thing that seemed to be like the best for my business and the best for like giving back and helping rescues. And I just liked it the best. So I did my first show in Atlanta, planned a dog wedding. I loved it. I ended up booking 8 shows across the country, and I started working. I was ready to head out for the first of these 8 shows in Los Angeles in March. Boom. Everything got canceled because of COVID. So here I was, like stunned, shocked, terrified because of COVID. I did the only thing I knew how to do. I started hyper producing again, which was like the thing that I did all kinds of great things, but I didn't build friendships. I didn't build memories. I built moments that I could remember. And like some of the fashion shows, I did build memories, but it was all like about something besides connection. So, but I ended up doing that again, and I started a Zoom group, and I wrote a song, and somebody in the group played the song on the piano, and I took all those clothes I had designed. I set up a photo studio in my living room and took pictures of me with my dogs in the clothes and posted them on Facebook, and had like not Facebook, Instagram, and had like an Instagram dog fashion show virtual. I went virtual. So I made 30 masks and donated them to the hospital. I made masks for my sister and me. I made masks to match my people matching pet collection. I was like, boom, 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 work. And then in the process of finding, of like looking on Google for YouTube for the masks, I saw a van. I saw Vanlife. I saw the pictures of the person sitting in the back, looking like content, just reading a book with this gorgeous landscape behind them, this picture of safety and comfort and expansion. And so I started like really Googling and really looking into everything that was. And I ended up ordering a van and drawing an entire layout. And I started a spreadsheet and started buying all the ingredients and walking through it and learning. And like with each step that I learned, I slowed down, because it's really hard to learn at hyperspeed and actually grasp what you're trying to learn. You have to slow down to learn. So like maybe society just needs to pick up some things they want to learn and take some time with it. But I don't even know if it's a problem with everyone, but it was such a problem with me, of this being on hyperspeed, like don't look back. Like you don't have to deal with various complexities that would be in your face if you truly slowed down. So the van arrived in February of 2001. This is my van. I'm in so far over my head. but I think it's going to be fine. I'll just, when you break a big project down into little pieces, it's not so difficult. So far, what I've done is I've put all the sound deadener in and all the insulation. I chose Havelock wool for my insulation, and it was such a good choice because installing it was almost a spiritual experience. You're just pulling these pieces off the wool and stuffing them in all the little holes. So after I finished the insulation, I moved on to the floor. Polyiso 1 inch on the floor, 3/4 inch plywood on top of that. I secured it by the D-rings. I painted both sides of it, so it was, or primed both sides of it, so it was like, not like protected from something. And then I pulled out my floor plan that I had done on graph paper in the computer on graph paper, and I started putting blue tape on the floor where each piece of furniture was going to go, and really think through what I was looking at and make decisions. Did I do it right? Do I like what I did? And then the build just progressed, one thing on top of the next. 2x4s, plywood on top of it, and it came together. Finally, I was at the point where I had to pay attention to the electric, and I had to pay attention to the plumbing, the two things I was avoiding. And much to my surprise, plumbing was like the simplest thing in the universe. It was like straight lines and angles. Find the shortest distance between your 2 points without bending off much, and then just look to make sure it doesn't leak. It was like really easy. And the same with the electric. You basically had a bunch of wires that you had to put ends on with various different kinds of ends and different tools to put the ends on them. And then you just hook them up to where they get hooked up. Like, you just follow the directions. I mean, it was really simple, and it's all turned off. If you have no power, it can't kill you. So I got through all that, and I was like, why did I wait this long? Because it meant that I had created problems for myself by like saving things for the end that really should have been done sooner. But it all came together. I finally put up my ceiling, which I absolutely love. I think it's my favorite thing in the van. I made a whole video of how I did it, but it's American tin with no finish. I spray painted it the exact color of the walls. It adds like texture, and different things to look at are what give a space or gives anything dynamic. So that if you think of building your van with multiple dynamics, with a lot going on, and this is where like harmonics comes in, because it has to balance and sing together. And you can't, so it's basically design. Anyway, I finished the build, and it was May. All right, we're off. First trip. All right, we are headed to the Balloon Festival. Break. Okay, I'm going to the Balloon Festival in upstate New York, and I'm going to take lots of pictures. It's my first trip with the Poochmobile. This morning I turned on the hot water heater and the plug didn't work, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but I will find a way to fix it. And now I'm going to turn on my directions so I know where the hell I'm going. Good. So there was all these little things that you had to adjust to, and then there was just the silence. I was on this hilltop looking out at this maple syrup farm, and and suddenly, like when you live in a city, like, it's a protection, the noise, the activity, the stuff around you. It's so distracting. You can't focus on something as simple as silence. And it was just kind of a weird feeling. It opened an emptiness. And I don't think the emptiness was the silence, because silence is a beautiful thing. I think the emptiness was the vulnerability of just me. And part of that whole journey that I've been taking that takes me out of hyperspeed and puts me connected with the present moment in front of me. And when you live in a city, it's like you get in a rut, you get on the hamster wheel, you don't know your neighbors. I lived in New York City in one apartment for like 7 years. I never saw the person who lived next to me. I didn't know their name. It was just like the weirdest thing. Yes, I know, you're such a good boy. Anyway, so then like that first trip was an adjustment, because change and new things are always an adjustment. It never just happens like boom. So then the trips just got better and better and better. I was at Assateague. The horses literally walked through the campsite. You see beautiful sunsets, and you sleep and you hear this lapping of water. You park on this giant vista where you are on top of the world. You begin to wonder, and that's what this channel really has become about for me now. It's like my next trip, I'm going out to the mountains in Virginia, and I'm going to do all the things I've never done. I bought a hatchet. I'm going to be cutting, like, I'm not going to cut down wood in a campsite. I'm going to take this stuff on the ground and make it smaller so it fits in the campsite. And I'm going to be hiking and biking and exploring. I'm going to experiment with different things. I mean, I am in play mode. And I think it is a great place to be. So does he. Ha 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 ha. He's such a good little boy. Such a good little boy. All right, well, that is about everything I have to say about the sanctuary of this.